Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Les presento a Patti LuPone. Patti!
Joe Lang, I'm sure his name was Joe Lang, was our sound guy at Mouches, and every Saturday night he would hand David and me a tape. And I don't know why. I actually just said, what am I going to do with this? More junk.
I had kept all the audio tapes. Some were in terrible condition, some were in better condition. I think Patti had a couple of them too. And I just gave our wonderful, wonderful record producer, Kurt Deutsch at Ghostlight Records, I gave him everything.
I think I threw out a shitload of them. I just went, I got too many like Mouches CDs. I'll keep one from December and one when I closed. But I had stacks of them.
It's amazing. It's like a time warp. I just can't believe that it's happened after 28 years.
Almost 30 years ago, in a club, when these tapes were... This is, I mean, it's so live. It's just, it's live and it's raw, and it's almost as if, the album, I think, sounds as if, you know, you're in the club.
I'm a Latin from Manhattan. I'm a 42nd Street. I'm a Latin from Manhattan, señorita. That's a love and trouble. I don't mind him. You won't find him knocking on my front or back door.
I don't even know why she called me. I had been doing acts at other places with Diane Keaton and Butterfly McQueen and Edie Beale.
I went and saw somebody's nightclub act, and Pete Sanders was the press agent, I think, of that, and he sidled up to me and said, you should do one of these. And I went, oh, God.
Patti was Evita at the time, you know. She hadn't won the Tony yet, but she was Evita. And I immediately said yes, and then I started thinking, and then when we started working, I realized how far she could go.
I thought, you know what, maybe a little club act after, so they can see that I'm a brown-haired, brown-eyed comedian might not be a bad idea. I'm not doing anything anyway. I don't have a boyfriend. I'm all by myself doing this experience. I might as well try it. I mean, I got off the stage, got out of that makeup, got out of that wig, fixed my hair, put on more makeup, and went down to Les Mouches and put on a costume. I think I started, it was a midnight show. I probably started about 12:30. I
got the idea that maybe we could create a character that was larger than life, you know, like a persona, a New York person, because Evita started it, you know, and everybody knew her as Evita. I think the word I always used was fierce, because she was always that way.
I can't remember the rehearsal periods. I don't remember I remember David's apartment, but I don't remember when I went there to learn all of that music. And then I remember that we did it. And then all of a sudden, we continued to do it. And then all of a sudden, that was my life. I'd go down to Les Mouches at midnight on Saturday nights for 27 weeks.
If you wanna buy my wares, follow me and climb the stairs. Love for sale. Love for sale. I said love. I said love. Ooh, love.
I was astounded at her range and the way she could go to the edges. I just didn't realize that before.
David put this whole act together. I have no decision making in that act at all. He said, try this. Okay. Sang it, figured out the key. Great. So he played around with the songs, then lined them up and went, there's your act. There's our act. I went, okay.
She did choose the first number, I'm a Latin from Manhattan. And the last number, Good Night, Sweetheart, but I chose everything else. I just chose the songs that I felt that I could arrange for her voice and that spoke to me.
This is all David's mind and soul, and it's a terrific, eclectic act. It's a terrific act.
The way she sings David Shire's It Goes Like It Goes, it still gives me chills just thinking about it. These were all my favorite songs, you know. And I gave them to Patti, and she did them proud.
Every day. Ain't no miracle growing old. like the river flows, and time it rolls right on.
Well, Les Mouches was part of the culture that was going on in New York. It was a very hedonistic time. It was very sensual, it was very sexual. It was almost anything went. It was a very free time.
The second or third floor was this huge, huge discotheque, and you got out and there was a big metal fly. And I went, what the hell is that? I didn't know Mouche was fly.
They brought you up into a different atmosphere. You went up this elevator. It was I think it was a car showroom on 11th Avenue and 28th Street. And they just created a whole different atmosphere where anything went.
And then you go either up to the 5th or the 6th floor, and there was the supper club. It was just a long room, but it was alive.
Superman, Superman, I wanna be like Superman. Superman, Superman, I wanna fly like Superman. Superman, Superman, I wanna be like Superman. Superman, Superman, I wanna fly like Superman.
And it was a very mixed crowd, too. I mean, it was people that go to cabaret, a lot of gay guys, fans of Evita. And then my friend Richard Wiseman just brought everybody who he knew down there, and he knew all of New York. So we had the art scene and the sports scene and the country western scene. And I mean, Richard brought Andy Warhol. That's why Andy Warhol was there, because of Richard.
We weren't prepared for the reaction that this act was going to create. People were screaming like she was a rock star. And then, in the middle of the run, Patti won the Tony Award, and then things exploded.
Well, everybody showed up because they thought this was, somebody said, you got to go, this is what you do on a Saturday night. You go see Patti LuPone at Les Mouches. I had no idea. I can't tell you why it was successful. I can't tell you why it became a cult. I have no idea. I was shocked. Every night I was like, oh my God. Because I don't even think we saw them at the show.
We couldn't get into Les Mouches. You just couldn't get in, you know, and all the movie stars were coming, and all the Broadway stars were coming, and all the cognoscenti. You know, it was just amazing. It exploded, and then she became the person of the moment, you know, and then we were going everywhere, and then we were invited to the White House for the Reagan inauguration. We were in this little room, you know, with a curtain ready to go on for the inaugural, and into this little space, and I had my rock band with me. We were all in tuxedos, and Patti was in her tuxedo. In walks George and Barbara Bush. And Barbara Bush takes a look at us and says, "Who are you people?" So Patti looks right at her and says, "We're your opening act."
I don't really think I need the reasons why I won't succeed. I haven't started. Let's get this show on the road. Let's make it obvious, pedal is off and rolling. I came from the people, they need to adore me. The Christian Dior me, from my head to my toes. I need to be dazzling, I want to be rainbow high. They must have excitement, and so must I.
I'm sure it was the fact that Evita was now going and singing someplace. And you got to remember, back in the 80s, if you were even born back then, the city was really, really vital. The city was alive. You could eat in the theater district after 11 p.m. There were club acts, there were clubs, there was a life, there was a vital nightlife. Ethel Merman, Mary Martin, they finished their Broadway shows and they went off to the Rainbow Room, or they went to the Stork Club and did a set. They all, you know, that was what you did. You went out for drinks, you played a set, stayed up all night, smoking cigarettes around a piano, somebody's apartment. And we've lost something. We've lost that good time.
It was a wonderful place to be an artist, you know, and to experiment. And we did. I call it a performance piece. It wasn't really a nightclub act.
Heaven is a disco. The Lord is a DJ.
Heaven is a Disco. That was, of course, my idea. I had gone on a cruise with Paul Jabara, who wrote Last Dance, Enough is Enough. And it was a little-known song, and I wrote the beginning of it, this whole dream thing where she dies and she goes to heaven, and it's a disco instead of heaven, and the angels are the waiters, and Patti went with it.
When I heard that, I went, oh, God.
And I had the disco ball going, and the lights off, and the people went, ah! You know, they started screaming.
We are going to heaven. We're on the road to heaven. We can't wait for heaven. Heaven, I said, heaven.
People loved her. She was young, she was fresh, she was vibrant, she was a little frightening, you know, and they didn't know quite who she was or what to expect from her. And that's why we sort of turned the tables on everybody in this act, because we made her funny and we really made her sexual. I had her do a little thing with me. I don't know if I'm on it when she says, "Hey, how you doing?" And we'd have this little thing together. And towards the end of it, when she's humping the piano, and the audience went wild.
Just pick me up on your knee. I just guess so you know. I just guess so you know. When you squeeze Thank you.
It takes me back to all the feelings that I had at the time, you know, and the loves and the hates and the whole time period that it was, you know.
I mean, first I was embarrassed, thinking, my God, did I sound that way? And the more I listened to it, I said, what a great act, what a great time. What a lot of fun. Those were fun. Saturday nights were fun.
We were doing more than a club act, you know. We were sort of tweaking the audience, I think. And I didn't realize how strong the effect would be.
It's an amazing time. It was an amazing time.